Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2016 ITTF World Tour. It's the High Austrian Open, a major series on the World Tour. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobrow, coming to you live from Linz, Austria. And coming up now, we have the women's singles final. Yui Hamamoto there, rocking the LL Cool J pants style. And her opponent, also teammate from Japan, with the wrapped ankle, it's Mima Ito at 16 years old, world rank number 11, the second seed in this tournament. And it should be an interesting battle. Ito has had a very strong last few years, although some of her younger teammates have been coming up and challenging her a little bit more, Miu Hirano namely, and Yui Hamamoto has been playing quite well. Frédéric Foulhard from France. And Simin Rezaie from Iran, the assistant umpire. So Yui Hamamoto, the tallest female on the Japanese national team, at only 18 years old, is the 15th seed in this tournament, world rank number 36, and has played against Mima Ito 7 times. Of those 7, she has won 2. Mima Ito, of course, has won the other 5. So Mima Ito expected to win here, but the way Yui Hamamoto has played so far in this tournament leaves a lot of question and a lot of possibility and hope on the side of Hamamoto. I'll tell you a little bit about who Yui Hamamoto beat to get here in the opening round. She beat Li Chun from Chinese Taipei 4-0. After that, for me, this was a surprise. Maki Shiomi 4 games to 2. Shiomi's quite tough, has the short pips on the forehand side, sticky rubber on the backhand, inverted. After that, beat Chung Yi-ching, top seed for women. So the top seed eliminated by Hamamoto 4 games to 2, and then following that, it was Seo Won, Korea's top chopper, 4 games to 2 again, and then beat Choi Hyo-ju, the young hard hitter, left-handed, short pips backhand from Korea. An outstanding match, 11-9 in game 7. You can watch that on ITTF.com/ITTV. Chance to see not only tables 1 and 2 as usual, but also tables 3 and 4 throughout the tournament as well. Video quality in HD. You can watch it on your mobile device, whether it's a cell phone, a tablet, whatever else you have. ITTF getting with the times, upgrading so that you can have the best possible entertainment at your fingertips and a library of resources as well, not to mention interesting articles, write-ups, and pictures. Players are going to check each other's equipment. And as far as equipment goes, Mima Ito, I was told, I guess I mentioned earlier that there was some miscommunication, maybe lost in translation. I was told medium pips on the backhand, but recently found out that she's actually using Moristo SP, a short pips rubber that plays a lot more like a medium pip, knuckling the ball. So short pips on the backhand of Mima Ito. Sorry about that, but happy to be able to accurately update and correct. Yui Hamamoto right there on screen. Now she's actually 18 years old according to the stats on our entry list here. You can find some of those interesting stats, head-to-head and everything else on ITTF.com. So I told you about who Yui Hamamoto's beaten so far to make it to the women's singles final. And the child prodigy Mima Ito, I'll tell you about her. In the opening round, played Russia's Yulia Prokhorova, 4 games to 1, a victory for Mima Ito. Prokhorova is going to go back to play the Russian league after this tournament. Had a chance to have lunch with her and Alexei Livantsov, her husband from Russia. Following that, Christine Silbereisen, who beat Ai Fukuhara at the World Championships. It's a 4-1 victory for Mima Ito over Silbereisen, a very experienced hard hitter from Germany. Following that, Mima Ito beat Yuka Ishigaki, chopper from Japan, her teammate. And there's Frédéric Foulhard from France. Following the win over Ishigaki, it was Sofia Polkanova. Our assistant umpire, Simin Rezaie. So 4-1 over Sofia Polkanova in front of the home crowd. Polkanova played quite well, although hit her elbow, I think it was game 3, and after that everything seemed quite different. And earlier today in the women's singles semifinal, Honoka Hashimoto, who you just saw play an incredible doubles match, the women's doubles going 16-14 in the deciding 5th game. So Honoka Hashimoto lost 1 game to 4 against Mima Ito. It was deuce in the final game, 12-10 for Mima Ito. So as far as that short pips on the backhand of Mima Ito, you're going to see a lot of variation. Quick off the bounce, aggressive shots. Still able to generate some spin consistently. I've played against this rubber many times and someone who uses it quite similarly. But it can also be used to really soften up the shot. It's like Mima Ito saying, hey, you got the serve, right? Accidentally started off with the ball. Now everything is in its right place. Best of 7, love all. So Mima Ito quite fast on her feet, again much shorter in stature than Yui Hamamoto. But using the spin well, not moving too early. Hamamoto played the down the line shots with the backhand several times early on in her last match. The timing's very different against Mima Ito because she takes it so early off the bounce. Still uses a lot of wrist on the backhand. Again, not generating as much spin as with inverted rubber, but still more than most short pips. Now again, these players are coachless in the corner. Between games, it should be a little bit quicker as they're both from the Japanese National Association. Heavy push from Ito, and it's a 4-point lead at the first towel break. Neither player going for the towel. And by neither, I mean one player, Yui Hamamoto. It's nice to be able to see them both, very cool. That's that backhand short stroke, so much wrist and still a good amount of spin from the back of the table right off the bounce. Watch it one more time. Last moment just tucks. It's amazing how loose she lets her wrist get right before she goes for the shot. Lets it dangle and then snaps it up through, whips it. Much like throwing a frisbee, that backhand. Except without tucking into the stomach more, just a little bit down. Backhand again in the backhand to backhand rally. Again, playing against that Moristo on the backhand side, the ball tends to knuckle a little bit more. Or it can anyway with the flatter hits. It's unexpected how much spin comes off it though when Ito loops with it. There's another example of the heavy spin shot. Kicks up and catches the edge of the racket. Now, these two have played 7 times on the World Tour. It's not lack of experience for Hamamoto. I took the bus here this morning with Mima Ito and team, meaning her practice partner and coach. She seemed very focused. I think she understands this is a chance, sort of a redemption here. And not that she needs any redemption at 16 years old, being world ranked number 11, but just being passed by recently by Miu Hirano, having been on the up and up for some time. Here's the Lu Guoliang serve. Heavy underspin. Short to the forehand side on the pendulum serve. Look at that angle. Backhand quick off the bounce, whizzes off the side, and Ito now with 6 game points. Quality push, a little deep on the table. Right off the bounce though. flat hit just murders the ball in game one, 11-4. Mima Ito over Yui Hamamoto. We'll be back for game two in this best of seven. Stay right here. You're watching the women's singles final. Players staying loose come back for game two. Mima Ito at the bottom of the screen in blue with the serve to start off game two. Yui Hamamoto, for the first time so far this tournament, appears to be outmatched, but it's only been the first game. We will notice breaks in players, meaning they might be in a I'd say on a streak for a while. This even happened with Yui Hamamoto against Choi Hyo-ju. Started off very strong, dominating the first two games. Choi Hyo-ju quickly turning it around. Yeah, Choi Hyo-ju won the next two games before Yui Hamamoto edged out game five. So evolution happens even within not just a match, but each individual game. You'll see players come back from way behind. Look at that, punching backhand out to the open forehand. The ball sits up just a little bit, and that's enough room for Mima Ito to come through and take the point. That's more than just a little bit. That serve's too high for Hamamoto. Trying to serve long, it still needs to stay pretty low. Just overdoing it on the backhand punch shot. First point for Hamamoto this game. As far as comebacks, one of the greatest comebacks I've seen from a point standpoint at the Japan Open in 2014, Feng Tianwei, down 1-7, scored 10 points in a row. Inside out forehand, Ito contacting the table a bit, no problem. Just wanted to make sure her equipment was fine. A little bit off the top of the net, but still an excellent inside out shot from Ito. So far this game, very one-directional, much like game one. And right now, Hamamoto searching for answers. The long serve into the backhand, Ito not phased. She holds her ground well, doesn't move too early. Moving early is often a sign of someone afraid they're not going to be able to get to where the ball is. If you're physically fit and you're fast, just moving on time is enough. Moving early can set you up for disappointment when you're surprised by the placement. Now Mima Ito definitely has the smaller middle of the two. Greater wingspan equals greater reach to the sides, of course, but a bigger middle. Hamamoto's struggling to find the middle on Mima Ito. Little help from the top of the net to get a third point for Yui Hamamoto. It's a rare occasion, a serve that comes long. Ito just miscalibrating. Maybe thought there was a little more underspin on it than there was. Counter rally, the exchange gets faster and faster, and it's Ito who prevails as Hamamoto tries to play it down the line. Look at this shot, the forehand cross court out of reach, outside of the wingspan of Hamamoto. And notice the depth on the table too. The serve much shorter brings in Hamamoto so that she has trouble coming back to reach wide on the forehand side. Follow-up shot deep on the table. And only one of 6 game points needed, and another 11-4 victory for Mima Ito over Yui Hamamoto. We'll see what happens in game 3, if Hamamoto can change things up or not. Game 3 right after this. Back for game 3, Yui Hamamoto in black, starting off with the serve, down 0 games to do against the young Mima Ito. Hamamoto only 2 years older herself at 18 years old. Now, as much power as we've seen from Hamamoto, she hasn't really had the chance, or earned the chance rather, against Mima Ito to get those rocket backhands into play. Against some of her other opponents, she spins the ball first and then follows up with timing for power. But Ito's so fast right now off the bounce with this sort of play, movement, playing the angles, fast, deep shots on the table. Seriously, the technique, just amazing. How can you hit it that hard? Timing, physical fitness, practice. She's hopping around back there. Even in that last slow motion shot we saw from profile. Body weight forward, so light on her feet. It'll be interesting to see her and Miu Hirano continue to grow together alongside each other. Miu Hirano right now playing in the Chinese Super League. Quite an honor, but still playing very well. This is after becoming the Women's World Cup title holder. Can see what Hamamoto wanted to do there. A little bit of side on it, leave a little shorter on the table, kicking out to the forehand, but just missed the contact. Long serve to the middle of the table. Mima Ito quick to turn, no problem. Again, Ito was not moving early. She had the backhand up over the table just in case and quickly pulled back for the short stroke forehand winner. Clever idea, hit it behind the body weight. And the first point for Hamamoto. Very similar score to the last 2 games. That's as short as they stay off the top of the net. A push that comes right back to hug the net. And the heavy underspin on the shovel serve. A 3rd point. HAMAMOTO in this game more than she has been the last 2. This is a bit of a streak here. Bit of a run 4 points in a row from down 0-6. With a coach in the corner, you'd imagine Mima Ito's coach might call a timeout. HAMAMOTO looking much more fluid out here, keeping Ito less aggressive on the receive. Really has to come in to get that sideways with the backhand first before she resets at the back of the table. And finally, a shot missed by Yui HAMAMOTO. A little bit of hope here for Ito to start things back up the way they've been so far for her. But HAMAMOTO fooled by the long receive right back to the forehand side. The angle again right on the white of the line. It's got a lot to do with the timing here from Ito. She takes it so early to create these wide angles, gets it while it's closer to the net. The fast forehand cross court. HAMAMOTO made all that effort and all that comeback. 5 points in a row from down 0-6, and now it's 4 game points for Mima Ito to have a 3-0 lead. Ito definitely not happy about that. Very flat shot from the back of the table. Still a little bit of topspin on it. Fastball over the middle of the plate. Basically, you can understand why she wanted to just hit a home run there. And the heavy push over the middle of the table, 11-7. Mima Ito 1 game away from taking another title to add to her belt. A major series on the World Tour. We'll see if HAMAMOTO can stop her. Down 0-3. We'll be back for game 4 right after this. Back for game number 4 as Mima Ito sweeps the table clean of any particles of racket to make sure that the ball bounces honestly. Comes back here leading 3-0 in the women's singles final. And HAMAMOTO with the most impressive game so far for her. Still losing 11-7. That was the last game. Forehand flip kill. HAMAMOTO anticipates, but still can't bring it back. A flat hit, attempted to be flat hit back. To the deepest part of the table in a long push. Lu Goliong style serve coming off the table wide on the backhand side. Reverse pendulum serve. Haven't seen that from HAMAMOTO. A little bit of help off the top of the net, though, for Mima Ito to take the point. Gotta love how darting and dashing she is with that backhand. Very aggressive as she lunges forward and punches out. But HAMAMOTO keeps the ball low and spinny, earns the point. Lead service, they'll play that again. When HAMAMOTO has the time like that, gets a slightly slower ball. Again, it's not as easy as it looks. The ball is knuckling off those short pips on the backhand side. But still, HAMAMOTO has the opening there to really just tuck back and unload with that powerful backhand. Excellent block, anticipates, covers the middle. See this one more time here. Serve comes long, brings the elbow in just enough to get the racket on it and play it back to the forehand side. Backhand to backhand, we saw many points played this way. Early on, Mima Ito, the heavy favorite, backhand to backhand. And I think if we were to do statistics, analytics on this so far, she's still the heavy favorite backhand to backhand. Mima Ito has scored more than double the points coming into this game of her opponent. 15 points for Yui HAMAMOTO in 3 games, 33 for Mima Ito. Reverse pendulum again in an attempted long push. Haven't seen a timeout from HAMAMOTO. Seems like if she doesn't win this point, might be a good time to use it. Excellent counters, but it's Mima Ito who's quickly recoiled and plays it down the line with a beautiful forehand. Look at this, talk about surprise and unexpected. Quick off the bounce, HAMAMOTO still center of the table. This is one tactic that's worked well for HAMAMOTO. Spinning the ball into the body, deep in the middle, and then one more deep to the backhand. Ito's tendency is to go for the aggressive punch shot. And if it's low and deep on the table, it's going to be low percentage with short pips. So fast on these shots. The deep push from Ito. 2 points away from taking a title in a clean sweep, a shutout. Strong answer to a long serve from Ito, and it is 4 championship points for the 16-year-old sensation from Japan. The job is not done yet. 1 match point saved. Ito has to stay focused here. The aggressive backhand goes into the net, and it is Mima Ito, 11 points to 7, 2 games in a row after taking the first 2, 11 to 4. And what a dominant performance from Mima Ito, the 2nd seed in the tournament, has taken the title. This will add to the world ranking climb, and we will see how things turn out between Miu Hirano and Mima Ito. But Mima Ito will be standing on top of the podium. Here's the recap of scores against Yui HAMAMOTO, the runner-up. And coming up next, we've got the men's singles final, and it should be a thriller. It's Ugo Calderano of Brazil versus Kenta Matsudaira of Japan. Stay right here. You're watching the Austrian Open 2016.